right, welcome back to Running the Ropes right here on the Unchained Wrestling Network, SNS Radio Network, and KJCC Real Campus Radio. Brian Maverick Bertrand with you once again, and always here with me, to my right, on my computer, Mr. Chris Kelly from Headlocks.Headlines.com. And with us on the phone line right now, former TNA Tag Team Champion, Hernandez. Hernandez, what's going on?
What's going on, fellas? I'm here chilling in Houston playing Xbox.
Oh, what are you playing?
NCAA college football.
Oh, nice. I've actually started just playing Madden 12 myself.
There you go.
So
you play real football. I understand.
Real football, yeah. Hey, nothing wrong with real football, especially when you could import the roster from NCAA and all the draft players and all that. So that's pretty fun.
No doubt, man. That's awesome.
So we haven't seen you on TV. I mean,
since Bound for Glory, I believe.
I think so. Yeah, since Bound for Glory. What's Supermex been up to since then?
I haven't been on TNA TV since like maybe the first or second week of December, but I've been doing house shows for them, and I run a small promotion in San Antonio called River City Wrestling, and they run monthly shows, and just chilling at the house with the kids, brother.
Well, there you go. So, has there been, how can I say this? Chris, you want to go ahead and take the next question?
Well, thanks for that.
I have trademark brain farts, by the way.
I was just reading, and I didn't know that you actually once wrestled for the WWF as a jobber. I mean, I didn't really know that. I mean, how did that come about?
Well, actually, I started wrestling a lot. I got trained in '97 and started wrestling in '98, '99, and I got a chance to do a dark match with them, and they liked it. I wrestled Crash Holly for the first time, but I had less than 70 match experience, so I mean I was green as grass. But it was a cool experience, and I had a couple more with them. But I don't like that style at all at the time. I'm more like I'm more into the lucha style with a lot of action and more athleticism, not just talking on the mic and stuff like that. So I kind of steered away from that style.
Now, so when it came to TNA, why did you choose TNA at first as opposed to WWE?
Well, I was in TNA for about 2-3 months back in 2003, and I guess things didn't work out, or they were going a different direction, and I went back to Mexico to wrestle. I was wrestling in a mask down there as Mr. Texas, and they just happened to call me like 3 years later. Hey, we need a big Hispanic guy to play this role in LAX. I said, let me finish this mask. I was doing a feud, a mask versus mask feud. I said, let me finish the feud, and I'll go jump a plane and see what happens. And that's how LAX, when I was in it, started. I mean, LAX started before I was there, but that's how I got into LAX.
Speaking of LAX, have you had? I mean, how was? I'm trying to think. Was there like a relationship with Conan at all?
I've met him a few times in Mexico before that, but no.
No, okay. That's what I wasn't sure if you were in it during his time or not.
No.
But what are your thoughts? I mean, you were like the main guy behind LAX in the second run, I guess. So what are your thoughts on Shelly Martinez and Homicide?
Dude, Homicide is like my brother, bro. I mean,
well, I mean, yeah, you guys worked. I'm sure you guys worked together a lot before, especially in the lucha leagues, lucha companies. Your thoughts on Shelly Martinez working with her?
Oh, Shelly's cool. She's full of fun and stuff like that. But I mean, for LAX, everyone's just gonna remember myself, Conan, and Homicide. I mean, that was like lightning in a bottle right there. Just all the dynamics came together all at one time, and it was just magic for for the short time we were together.
Right. And I think one of my favorite memories of LAX was, of course, when Hector Guerrero got involved with some of your matches.
Yeah.
What was it like meeting a legend like Hector Guerrero, out of all people?
Hector Guerrero is, pretty much like my uncle. He's, I've developed such a great friendship with him, and he's just awesome. I mean, I can't say nothing good things about him. He gives you the advice you need and advice you want without being pushy, and not, a lot of guys in the older generations are stuck in their own mentalities of how things are done, and he's very open-minded. If you don't want his advice, he won't give it to you. But I can't say enough good things. Hector, he's awesome, man.
Has there been any advice from him that stuck out in your mind that you would share, or?
No.
No.
It's very interesting hearing his perspective because he was a Hispanic man wrestling in the 70s and 80s, and this is stuff that he's dealt with. Has helped me calm down and not just take things more in stride and everything.
That's pretty cool. I haven't. I think the only legends I've met, but not personally, were just people mainly local people in my area. But when I'm trying to think. Were you a fan of? Were you on board with breaking up LAX before, or was that just something that the company wanted?
That would be strictly a management decision. Me and Homicide are really good friends in and out of the ring. And we, in our minds, we complement each other very well in the ring. So why would you, if we're brothers and we do well together, why would you want to break that up?
Yeah, I never understood why they ended up teaming you with Matt Morgan out of some people, because I heard a lot of bad things about Matt Morgan being too green and all that, and not working with that. But
I don't know.
Not one of the things you seen.
No, just I was I've learned in that short time together with Homicide and Conan, I've learned so much. I just basically I was quiet and let them tell me what to do, and without having an ego about it, and things flew so much smoother with me and Homicide.
Right. Go ahead, Chris.
Like I said before, I actually got to meet both Supermex and Homicide in Philadelphia. I was out at the bar, and I was like, holy crap, it's Homicide, and he was there a bit drunk, wouldn't you say? Just a tiny.
Was this when your wallet got stolen?
No, no.
I'm not saying that would have happened, but
now you're making insinuations that we stole his wallet. Wow.
I'm actually making an insinuation that James Storm stole his wallet.
Okay, wow. Okay, that's okay then.
So I figure someone took advantage somewhere down the line.
Wow.
No, that was Ric Flair, and when someone offered to buy a drink, he literally bought the whole bar a drink.
There you go.
I learned in Philadelphia, never offer to buy a beer to James Storm and or Ric Flair, or you'll be out of money, tons.
Ric Flair's just a whole new man on his own, man. He's in and out of the ring.
Go ahead, Chris.
When I was at Bound for Glory, I got to meet you, and like I said earlier, you were a great guy to talk to. I asked you a photo, you gave me a photo. I asked for an autograph, you gave me an autograph, and many of us just don't do that. So I just wanted to thank you on the air for being such a cool guy to meet at Bound for Glory.
Brother, what's wrong with your phone?
It's Google, man. It's all Google Voice.
Yeah, pay your phone bill, son. Pay your phone bill.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I was saying how cool it was to meet you at Bound for Glory. You were a class act to talk to and share a drink with. So I just want to thank you on the air for being just a cool guy to meet at Bound for Glory.
Well, why be a jerk? You guys, are cool. Most of the TNA fans are very respectful. Whether they like you or not, they're always respect what you do. So why be a jerk? That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, especially when you come out to help us and we pay for the tickets and all that. It's a really cool mutual thing.
But you know, I was quite upset that the fact that the Inc. match versus you guys got bumped off the card to the dark match, because I was having fun with Savita and
We were a
Vegeta.
dark match. It wasn't a dark match. It was on Facebook, bro.
Okay, a Facebook match.
So technically, it was all free.
I don't even. Well, the bad part about I don't even have Facebook. So I couldn't even see it. So
There you go. Now, you've been in LAX, and then you started with Anarchia and Rosita and Sarita with Mexican America. What was it like? Which I should say Latin faction did you like more, Mexican America or LAX?
it's a toss-up. I mean, LAX is my brother, Homicide, and Conan, who has the gift for gab with the mouthpiece.
Right.
We were so it was just such a dynamic at the time. But I mean, you can't beat Mexican America when you got Sarita and Rosita next to you, with hardly any clothes every day, bros. I mean,
Amen to that.
It's like apples and oranges. You really can't explain. I mean, you really can't compare.
How was the tag chemistry with Anarchia?
It was different. I mean, I was such used to Homicide, and actually, there was another gentleman that was supposed to be in his role, and that gentleman, couldn't come to terms, or the visa problem, or something happened, and Anarchia was, a last-minute replacement like I was back in 2006, and it took a bit, but I mean, the chemistry finally got there, and things are going better now.
There you go.
I mean, I find it funny whenever now in wrestling there is a group that is based on like kind of Latinos, they always reference it to LAX. I mean, you've got Hunico and Epico in WWE, and people always call them a ripoff of LAX.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hunico kind of looks like tries to look like Homicide. It looks like too, which is weird. And they're coming out with like more of the lowrider bikes, which are cool, and they do a lot of the stuff that I want to say that LAX did, especially during their first runs. I mean, do you think that WWE is trying to say something about bringing in more of the Latino wrestlers and trying to make another LAX of their own?
Well, whatever they're doing, I don't watch the program. The only wrestling I usually watch is Lucha. But I've seen the Unico guy, and I guess he comes out on a bike now or something.
Yeah, like a little lowrider bicycle.
Yeah. I mean, they're like anyone else. There's, the Hispanic population is growing tremendously in the United States. So you have to find a way to market that, not just with Sin Cara with the mask, or Mysterio with the mask, or that guy with the car, with
Alberto Del Rio.
Del Rio. I mean, you gotta, not every, most Hispanics don't relate to someone with a mask on, or or someone with a really, really fancy car. So you have the other dynamic with the lowrider and the cholos and stuff like that. They're trying to reach every demographic of Hispanics, I guess, and that's very smart.
Kind of like the aspect of it. Yeah, I think it's pretty smart too, especially with the success they've had with Eddie Guerrero in the past.
Yeah, most definitely, man. That's another thing they caught lightning in a bottle, man. That guy was great.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, as someone who's like been in tag teams throughout the history of TNA, what do you think right now? Kind of the tag team division's kind of watered down. I mean, back in the day, you had guys like yourself. You had Team 3D. You had America's Most Wanted. Nowadays, you have teams kind of put together.
Yeah, I mean, some of those guys like James Stormer and Bobby Roode, those guys, are great tag guys, but they've outgrown the tag. I would think, it's time for them to see what they can do on the single stage. Same thing with Machine Guns and stuff like that. In 3D, Bubba Ray, he's doing singles now, so is Devon. So eventually, no matter how much you like tag wrestling, you're going to always at least try, hey, man, let's see what I can do singles.
Do you? Yeah. Go ahead, Chris.
Maverick. Oh, no, I agree with you. I mean, as much as people want tag team wrestling, in the end, in wrestling, it is all about claiming to be a world champion. I mean, you can win as many tag titles as you want, like, for example, Bubba Ray, but until he wins the world title, people won't say that he's been a legend. Because I think in wrestling nowadays, you have to win the belt at least once to be considered a legend.
And you hit the nail right on the head. You could be an 80-time tag champion, and how many tag champions would, maybe they might not admit him for their tag partner, but deep down they want the heavyweight, singles champion one, at least one time by themselves. Every guy does. If they don't, they're lying.
Yeah. You mentioned before that some guys would benefit from going to like the singles division as opposed to staying in the tag team division. One of my favorite matches actually featuring you was your world heavyweight title shot against Kurt Angle. What was it like wrestling with him? I mean, it showed a lot of your talent in the ring.
Kurt Angle, probably in America the best wrestler I've ever been in the ring with. I mean, that guy is so competitive, and he wants to be the best against anybody. You get with some wrestlers, not in TNA, but I mean, like on the indie level and stuff like that, guys who build a bigger screen, a bigger stage. I'm sorry, and say, nah, I don't want to do this move. I don't want to take this move. And, because I guess protect their character or whatever. But Kurt, he embraces it. He's like a machine, man.
Especially with a surgically repaired neck and leg and arm. Hey, the guy's a monster.
He's easily my number one favorite wrestler in the States, bro. Hands down.
That's awesome.
Much respect for that guy.
Now, recently, of course, Impact came here to England and had the tapings. Now, as someone who's been in TNA for a long time, do you think TNA has kind of outgrown the Impact Zone? Because it's quite, from a fan's viewpoint, seeing the same crowd there each week can kind of like take away from the product. Do you think TNA needs to go out on the road more?
Well, it all depends on if it's financially feasible. But I mean, of course, anytime we have a live event, show or a TV taping, the crowd's way more. We had shows in different parts of the country, like North Carolina and stuff like that, and the crowd was just crazy. When I saw on TV the England guys, the England crowd was nuts. I mean, then you go back to the Impact Zone, it's like, it takes, just let's all, it's like popping a balloon, all the air just gets let out.
Yeah, I mean, like, I was there front row for the tapings, and there's about 8,000 people there who were just wrestling crazy. And I think that's one thing that people don't kind of enjoy about the Impact Zone. The fact that like the first few people there are wrestling fans, but the people in the stand are tourists, and the tourists don't know how to react to wrestling. And like as a wrestler, it must be hard to try and entertain tourists who aren't actually here to watch wrestling. They're here just as a quote unquote attraction of a theme park.
I agree. I mean, for some reason when TNA first started the Impact Zone, it was really cool because I mean, you get the diehard fans and everyone would be cool. But I mean, I guess time goes on, and you can be like, oh man, I can see it next taping. I don't worry about this taping, and then who's going to be on the show, and then it just starts the whole life out.
Yeah. Maverick, over to you.
Yeah, I just wanted to. Actually, I don't have any questions on my end. Do you have anything else, Chris?
I got one. I got a question on the email. If you could wrestle anyone in the world in any company, who would it be and why?
Wrestle with or against?
Both. Go for both.
I would love for the original La Parka, the guy who's in WCW. His name is L.A. Park, now in Mexico. That is my absolute favorite wrestler. He's the man. I mean, he can brawl, he can wrestle, he can do hardcore, he can do it all. And he's been doing it for 30 years, and he still brings it like Kurt Angle, bro. I would love to wrestle him in the States or in a singles match in Mexico. It does not matter. I would that just that's on my top of my list right there.
I think that there will be a fantastic match, though. I mean, if put in the right part of America where the fans were actually hot, I mean that could tear down the house.
Yeah.
I think that would be a great match.
I think it would be amazing. Shawn, is there anything else, is there anything you want to promote?
No. I run, my own personal show I run in RCW in San Antonio, Texas. First Saturday of every month in San Antonio. If you're in town, it's always a good show. We have the next show we have is March 3rd. We have two local guys, Michael Faith and Ray Rowe, versus the original Headhunters from the 90s, the two 400-pound twins.
There you go. Awesome.
Those guys still can do moonsaults and all that stuff off the top row at 400 pounds.
That's insane. And how old are they now? Damn.
42 or 43. They've been wrestling for a while. They started wrestling when they were 18.
That's insane. All right, well, it's, I believe, Super Mech Son on Twitter. Is that right?
That's me, brother. That's me.
Sorry if I pulled the surprise on you. But, alrighty, Shawn, thank you very much. Real quick, can we get a liner from you real fast?
Yeah, give it to me.
Okay, so it's going to be Running the Ropes on the SNS Radio Network.
Running the Ropes on the SNS?
SNS Radio Network, yeah.
Yeah, is this internet or is it real radio?
Internet.
Both.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't cuss.
Yeah.
Running the Ropes on SNS Radio?
Yeah.
Yo, this is Hernandez from TNA, and you're Running the Ropes on SNS Radio.
Awesome, man. Thank you. Hey, we'll do it again sometime. How about it?
No problem, bro. I'll keep you updated on what happens Tuesday, man.
Awesome. Awesome.
Okay, thanks, mate.
All right, talk to you later. Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye. Thank you.
And that was Shawn Hernandez, also known as Super Max from TNA Wrestling.